Heute nehmen wir mal die Technical-Serie unter die Lupe. Das ist für Spieler, die das Spiel dominieren, die Druck machen und die schnell den Punkt machen wollen. Wie wir schon wissen, haben wir bei der Technical-Serie 3 verschiedene Kategorien. Viper, Veron und Vertuo. Was es genau bedeutet, sagst du uns heute. So we got 3 different categories with the technical. We got the Viper, the Veron and the Vertuo. What's the story?
What's the story?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you said, because you did a really good introduction about the racket, but this racket is prepared for the power player. So this kind of players that want to go to the court, win the point really, really quick, more or less the kind of player that is the professional player right now, you know, that make 3 hits and the point is going to end. So it's what this kind of player wants to have. And we really think that we have this kind of player in different levels of expertise. So we have 3 different rackets for 3 different levels of expertise of the player. But between the rackets, there are some similarities and some differences between them. So if we go to the things that are similar, we have the shape. The shape is the same shape for the 3 rackets, diamond shape. Okay. So this kind of shape that is going to give you more power to the ball. Something that we have in our 3 rackets is the anti-vibration system. It's like an elastomers that goes inside of the grip but also on the heart of the racket. And it's bringing the player to make like less injured, let's say in the arm, in the tennis elbow. You know that it's really popular between the players. So
not popular, but common.
Yeah, common. Yeah, that's also popular because all people is talking about that. So it's something that we really see in padel also. And also another thing that is common between the 3 rackets is the balance of the racket. We have a height balance on this racket, and why we have that height balance is because, yeah, that's it. We want to explode the ball on the court, and that's it.
What about the weight?
This is different between the models. We have 1 weight for Viper and Veron racket. You know, our rackets for expert player and expert starting competition player. And the weight is 365 for that players. But when we go to our Vertuo model, in that racket we have 10 grams less because this kind of players, intermediate, needs
better handling.
Yeah, that's right. It. Something a little bit more maneuverable, even needs to be powerful, bringing something different. All the difference, let's go into the materials. The materials are totally different between the 3 rackets. The EVA inside, the 3 of them, is the same, okay? So this is not going to change, but the external layer is going to be in carbon for the Viper model, for expert players, more reactivity. Then we are going to have carbon flex in the Veron model, combining carbon and fiberglass, both materials, to make our racket easier to play, but at the same time really reactive also. And then we have the Vertuo model with the fiberglass inside, something really easy for a beginner, intermediate player to play with. Also something that normally is not really well known, but it's interesting to know, it's about the frame, because normally we forget about this part of the racket. We are talking always about the face. I think maybe you normally talk about the face, as all of us, but the frame is super important. Normally all the frames are mixed between carbon and fiberglass to bring more rigidity to the racket. So if we want to make the racket more rigid, it's going to have more carbon. If we want the racket a little bit more flexible, it's going to have more fiberglass, okay? Similar to how the face works, but also on the frame of the racket.
I have one question that is related probably to all paddle rackets, the grip. First question is, like, does every Babolat racket have the same grip? For 1, and for 2, the grip size. Coming from tennis, you know, like from 1 till 5 you have everything, but it seems like there's only 1 grip size. How come?
Yes, all the brands, but this is for all the brands, has only 1 grip size, only. And it's because it's really common in the sport. No one claims about it. Yeah, and it's very little.
You play the same racket?
Yeah.
Is that something that...
to put more overgrips over.
But do you think, like personally think that this will come in the future? To have, you know, I want the What do we have here? The Technical Viper in grip size 3. Do you think it will come or not?
To see if it's interesting or not, for example, in our women range, in this case, we have a thinner grip size.
Okay.
Because, yeah, as you see, my hand is pretty smaller than you. So that's why we have a smaller grip size in the woman range. Also for our junior range, we have a smaller grip size. But for the rest of the racket, we have exactly the same. So we are trying to see between different groups something we have in mind, because a lot of consumers ask about it because they come from tennis, sure. So they are used to it. But for the moment, what we are going to do, and also the other brands are going to do, is to keep like it is right now. Normally, there are players that are removing the original grip and put only one over grip over.
Others put 3 on top of that.
Yeah, so. It's totally depending also on the feeling that you want to have with the racket, if you want to be closer or not. And about the kind of grip that we put on the racket is different between our 3 models. In this case, we are taking the Syntec Pro, and it's a grip that is maybe not as comfortable as other ones, but it's with a very good adherence, and it's absorbing really good the sweat. So that's why it's the one that we put on the technical pillar.
All right, but the inside of the grip is the same?
Yeah, it's mostly the same. Yeah, it's the polymers of the anterior vibration system, and also the rest of the mold of the racket. Yeah.
All right, good to know.
And also now that we are talking about the grip, something really interesting and really important for our racket is that we really have a long grip on the racket. Okay, we are going to see that there are other brands that have like
shorter one, yeah.
Kind of grip. For us, it's really important to keep this essence that is very relevant for Babolat, and we are really confident on it. And also for this kind of racket, the power racket is really useful because you can make more power with this kind of grip.
The length of the grip doesn't have to do anything with the fact that some people still play double-handed backhands?
You can use it for that, for sure. But specifically on this racket, is not thinking on that. Okay. Yeah, we are thinking on it in other rackets. For example, the beginners ones, the ones that we are going to launch in very few months are going to be with a larger grip, and also is going to be something that is going to enlarge the heart of the racket. So it's to bring the player the possibility to play with 2 hands, because more and more trainers are training to the beginner players into play with 2 hands. That is at the beginning much more easy than play with 1 hand.
All right. At what stage of racket development do you think we are right now? Because, you know, tennis, wooden racket, then going on to now the, I don't know, carbon fiber, whatnot, but like it developed so much and changed the game a lot.
Totally.
And where do you think we are right now?
To be honest, I think we are in the starting point.
I imagine, yeah.
Yeah, we have much more to see. Also, it's a very young sport, let's say. Maybe not in Spain or Argentina or other kind of countries, but here in Germany, for example, it's really a
starting sport, yeah.
Starting one. So when more people is going to play, more things are going to come, because more people is going to be involved. So the ideas are going to pop up easier than with less people. You're going to see, but for example, for our next range, everything is going to change in terms of the materials on the technical pillar, in this case. It's going to be a real innovation, what we are going to have, and I'm pretty sure this is something we are going to continue doing in the future, because with our engineers, we are looking for other kind of materials that can be interesting and all this kind of things. So really, I think we are not in the very starting point, but we have a long path to take, yeah.
All right. I mean, nowadays people think about it a lot. Is there common sustainable material to the market? I mean, you have those cork rackets from, I think, Portugal, but they don't have the same feel like this kind of racket. Is there something in the pipeline?
Yes, also it's a really, really important topic for Babolat. We have people specifically dedicated to that part of the CSR and all the sustainability side of the business. We are working also on the racket to be more sustainable in the future, and we are changing some things on the materials that I can say, but we are working on it to be more sustainable. Also, we are much more sustainable right now in our racket than the past year. So, perfect. And but it's true that what you said, you take a cork, for example, and the feeling is totally different. You have one sample also from Adidas, and they did like a green pillar, something like that, and again, it's totally different. So, not really impactful right now in the market, and also depends a lot on the country, because there are some countries that are more interested into the recyclable thing, and others that don't care a lot. But it's true, it's something that in Babolat we are working really, really hard. And it's not only about the product. The product comes with a bubble bag, with a plastic bag, and all this kind of things. So we are thinking also in reducing this kind of materials that we are applying to save the rackets, and we are pretty sure we can find other things. And we develop new packagings also with craft carton to be more sustainable. So really a topic that is on the pipe right now.
Great, great. If I use the racket right, so I don't hit the fence or the glass or whatnot, I don't break it, how long should I play with the same racket? What's like a roughly,
Yeah,
it's a year, half a year?
it's hard to say, but the reality is even you buy the racket and you put the racket at home, in 1 year and a half, 2 years, the performance of the racket is going to be totally different. Why? Because the materials that you have inside of the racket are very sensible to the weather, to the different climate conditions and this kind of thing. So we can say that really in 2 years, even if you don't touch the racket is going to be totally different. And also it's not really easy to break a paddle racket, depending how you play, not really easy. But it's true that even if you are not going to break the racket, you are going to need to change the racket at some point. So if you are a regular player, maybe after 1 year you are going to really feel that the racket is not performing as well as at the beginning, or maybe different as the beginning.
So we take you as an example. You're an advanced player. You play 3 to 4 times a week. How often do you change your racket?
Normally, every 6 months, 1 year, depends on how hard I play, depending on how many competitions and these kind of things. But normally it's like that. Also because could be starting to break on one hole or whatever. But even for the materials, because you really feel that the reactivity of the racket is not really the same. It's true that it's something that we are feeling more the expert players. If you talk to an intermediate beginner player, for them the racket is going to be exactly the same, because they are not going to feel the difference.
Okay. So if there's if we got this little cut between holes, can you repair it or not?
Some people repair it, but the racket performance is not going to be the same.
Okay.
And that's something that is
Just throw it in that.
Also, some people is repairing the frames and so on, but at the end you are doing things with the weight and balance.
Injure yourself. Yes. So that's the main part about it.
It's not recommended to do that.
Okay. So looking at those two rackets, do they have the same amount of holes? Do they have the same shape of holes? Do they have the, you know what I mean, same pattern of holes? How does it affect my game?
Yeah.
Please explain.
Yeah. To be honest, the same number of holes, I don't know what to answer, because I don't do like this.
I counted
you know?
later on.
You can count later. But what is true is that the holes are totally different from one racket to the other. And this is because, for example, in the technical, we are looking for power. So you are going to see that we have bigger holes on the top of the racket, smaller holes on the bottom of the racket, and also a really different point of holes here for the sweet spot.
It's closer together. You can see that right now, but it's like very
The holes
closer.
are really closer than in the counter in this case.
If you want to see it like that, it's very narrow, and there you get expanded holes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally different, and it's remarking different characteristics of the racket. If you see in the counter, bigger holes on the outside, smaller holes on the inside, and this is making also expanding the sweet spot of the racket. So it's depending what we want to get.
One more aspect that I'm mostly interested in is the balance of the racket. So is it head heavy? Is it very balanced?
Yeah, in the case of the technical pillar, as we are looking for power, Yeah, we need to remember always that. So head-heavy balance for the 3 rackets, Viper, Veron, and Berto, to help the player to get that power.
Okay. Now that we know everything about the technical rackets, let's talk cash. How much are those rackets?
People is interested in cash, huh? Oh. Now, yeah, it's of course the materials that are inside of the rackets are going to make the racket less or more expensive. So we are going to start from the bottom. So our Berto model is in 180 euros. Remember, fiberglass racket. Then we have our Veron model that is in carbon flex and it's going to be in 240 euros.
Okay.
And then we will pass to the Viper, that is the full carbon racket, and it's going to be in 320 euros.
Alright. Jetzt wissen wir alles über die Technical Schläger, jetzt wollen wir sie aber auch spielen. Wenn ihr die testen wollt, kommt bei Paddle City vorbei. Wir haben die an allen Standorten, testet die aus. Wie man einen Schläger richtig testet, seht ihr in einem anderen Video.